Let's get prepared.
Get prepared.
Shh.
Listen
carefully
and pay attention.
Today I want to show you how to make a yoke basket. Yes, I'll cut out the yoke and use it to make a basket, then fix it back. So stay tuned until I finish drafting. Don't touch that die. This is my shoulder. Is 7, that is 14 divided by 2, and I mark at 3 inches. 3 inches is my shoulder, and I'm trying to draft the neck before the yoke. So I want it to be 4 inches by 3.5, and I curve it in to have my neck. This is the neck of my dress. This is the neck of my dress. It's a closed neck. So now the yoke will start at 7.5 because I want to make it sweetheart. I want to make it sweetheart. So it's gonna go this way. So this place. You see it? I'll do it now and you see everything. I'll cut out this place and use it, and this is called yoke. If you don't know what it's called yoke. So I'll cut out the yoke and use it to make baskets. So this is my yoke. I'll have to fold my paper into 2. Take my yoke and place it here. Since the fabric doesn't stretch, I'll have to add allowance. So here now, I draw, and by this end, I'm supposed to add allowance by this end. I've drawn the upper side. Now I want to add the allowance that is supposed to be here. You can see that it was together before I cut it, so there's no seam allowance for both the yoke and the down. So I have to spread it this way. There's supposed to be 1/2 inch for this one and 1/2 inch for this one. So I'll now add together 1 inch. I'll now add all the 1 inch to the yoke side. Now I will draw. Okay. This is it. Spread it open and draw the remaining one. You can see our yoke. So the next thing is to make my ropes. After making my ropes, I'll now do the basket here. I'm cutting the rope. You can see the ones I've cut, but it won't be enough, so I want to cut it in front of the camera. I use 1.5 inches. These are my ropes. This is how I'm gonna fold it. Fold small like this, fold it small like this, and fold it here like this. You can see it. Then you sew here, sew here. So when I come back, I'm gonna show you everything. So you can see my pattern is here. Get me pink. I separated it into 2 colors. This one is darker, this one is lighter. So I have to use this first. If you like, you can do it straight basket like this. Straight basket like this. But me, I prefer this type of basket. I have to use my ruler and divide my lines. 1 inch. I'll now have to turn my ruler and start again. Now I've done I've drafted my basket. The next thing I do now is to place my ropes. I'll first place this one. Make sure the sewn part is facing one side. So I want my own to face down. I want my own to face down. Put it down. Put it up. This is the basket. Put it up. Put it down. Up. And down. This one is supposed to be down. Okay, sorry. And like this. So it has ended. It has ended like this. I'll now use my pin. I'll now use my affix pin and pin it, hold it here. I've finished pinning all the ropes. So the next thing is to go and sew it on this black line that is on my marker. You sew it right round, sew it right round, then trim it. After sewing it, I'll bring it back to show you how it looks like. So I finished sewing it. You can see my thread, how it went around the yoke. This is that yoke that I drafted, trim everything, yoke basket. So now the next thing I do is to bias the neck. If I like, I can use this rope and carefully sew it on top, or I'll use bias and bias it like a normal bias, then fix this inside my Bustier pattern. It's the flay that I'm about to do, 180 degrees flay for the peplum down the Bustier. I have to mark out 6.5 inches by this side, and here 6.5 inches, and mark 6.5 all through like this. Then my client's waist is 35, that is, I did it 36, that is divided by 4 is 9. So when I measure out, it is 11. But I want it to be bigger than 11 because I want to pleat around the dart. So I have to increase my number from 6.5 to 8.5. So now check my measurement back. It is 14. Well, water, I think this is okay. What I need is just 9, so I'll use the rest as allowance and pleats. So the length of my client's top is 24, and her half length is 16.5. So I add half on top, it is now 16. I mark at 25, then add half seam allowance. So what I've got here is 9.5. I have to get my 9.5 all through. Thank you, my talented ones. As you exercise patience and stayed till the end of this tutorial, thank you very much for coming to my channel, and please subscribe. Don't go without subscribing. Be cool. Don't go. Subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. You see how it is in my Bustier. Okay, the next time you will see is on my dummy or on my model. Stay tuned for the final products.